Aquarist released into early access on the 8th of March 2022, and already it shows signs of being a title certain to deliver outstanding value for money. At just £7.19, it's already providing huge amounts of depth and gameplay for you to get your teeth into. Early access bugs certainly are going to be encountered, and there are some gameplay mechanics too which do not work very well and detract from what is otherwise an incredibly relaxing and rewarding gameplay experience. But I'll discuss all of that in a moment. Regardless of any issues in the current situation, and based on about 4 to 5 hours of solid gameplay, which you can go and watch over on our sister channel 𝐒𝐢𝐦 𝐷𝐄𝐈𝐿 Realism, it is absolutely clear that Aquarist is evolving into a very decent title indeed. And if you have any interest in fish keeping at all, then I can all but guarantee you will be able to enjoy many of the benefits of fish keeping without the vast majority of the negatives that get in the way. Aquarist starts you off with an in-game tutorial, and you, as a 14-year-old with your first fish tank, will quickly learn the controls and progress onto helping friends and family with their aquarium requirements as well. The game then will fast forward 3 years, and you get to set up your own business from the comforts of your father's basement. Once you have cleared out all of his crap, that is. Then you can paint the walls, relay the floor, and start setting up shelves and aquariums to sell, breed, or showcase your aquarium-related equipment, tools, and ornaments. You can prepare fresh and saltwater aquariums, and by setting some of the tanks to not for sale in order to resupply another one, you can segregate those for breeding. Or at least you will be able to when the bug, which frequently unsets that option, gets fixed. Now, there are numerous other bugs that you might encounter at the moment, requiring the odd restart. And because there's no auto-save function, also very likely that you might at times lose some of your progress. Hopefully, an autosave function will be added soon. Despite these bugs, which do get in the way, it's actually pretty relaxed, and the atmospheric environments make the simple yet rewarding job of designing, building and maintaining the fish tanks alongside the breeding and the selling of the fish themselves something of a really pleasurable experience. It's so easy to plough hour upon hour into the day-to-day business elements required in order for you to secure the $10,000 that are required so that you can enter into your first exhibition. Now, I'll be honest, I don't actually know what happens when you get to that exhibition because of the bugs that I have encountered. But I can tell you that I am very excited to see it. It looks like there are some new jobs, perhaps some new premises, bigger business opportunities maybe. I can hardly wait to see what the game has to offer. And as your rank increases, so do the number of fish and items at your disposal, and that's another area that I'm really interested to learn more about. Now, as I mentioned right at the beginning, some of the gameplay mechanics really do need looking at, and I'm going to list some of the key ones for you now. The inventory system as it is has 6 slots, but you can only hold 1 item in each of those slots. I recommend that this changes so that you can hold 3 to 5 of the same item in each of those slots. So if you buy 5 fish, you'll have 5, well, let's say 3, I think 3 is a reasonable number, 3 of those fish in 1 slot. It just gets messy and crazy otherwise. Furthermore, pressing the relevant numbered slot twice should put away said item, thus freeing up your hands for other tasks, because the way it is now, you'll have tools flying about all over the place, and oh my gosh, you'll have so many problems with it. Equally, the default position when you empty your hands should be to keep empty hands and not select the next relevant object in your inventory. It just doesn't work as it is, and it needs to change. Equally, it should not be necessary for you to move an entire fish tank just in order to clean it. With the issues listed above, or without the issues listed above, that might be okay, but in reality, moving a heavy fish tank full of water is not realistic or logical. They really should look at changing this. Now obviously, game-breaking bugs that hinder your movement or actions must be fixed, as must the bug which will unset not-for-sale settings on fish tank. This bug in particular adds unnecessary stress and aggravation to proceedings, because you're constantly having to replace items that should never have been sold in the first place. It would be so much more engaging if we decided where and how many tables we were going to have in our business. At the moment, it's pre-allocated for us. Furthermore, we should be able to place 2 of the small fish tanks on one table instead of just 1 per table. That would really help in the breeding side of things. Finally, there needs to be something done with the placement of tools. Placing of items and ornaments within the fish tanks themselves is actually very accomplished and working fine. Now I know that some of you are having real difficulties working with that, but once you get past the slightly quirky nature of how it all works, it's actually very, very precise. Just watch somebody else playing, maybe go and watch one of my videos and you'll see what I mean. But, in complete contrast, the placing of the tools in your hands, forgive my French, if there are children watching, please close their ears, it's an absolute shit show. Perhaps we should have a location where we can hang the tools, or just fix the tool placement mechanic altogether. That would be the best solution. But, despite these game-breaking and frustrating issues, Aquarist is going to be a firm favourite in my Steam library for quite some time, and I'm pretty sure that if they add DLC to Proceedings, I will be lapping that up too. Aquarist starts off pretty slowly, but it doesn't take long before you get into the groove, and I tell you what, it's one of the most rewarding games I think I've ever played. It's so chilled out, it's very zen, and it's very rewarding. I would like to see a bit more variety on the rocks and the colours and the shapes and things like that, but it's early access, these are things that can come in the future. Perhaps if they opened up modding, that would be a great way to really bolster the amount of rocks and shapes and ornaments that you could place within a fish tank. But on the most part, everything works really well. It's very chilled out, it certainly isn't hardcore simulation, but it's realistic enough to be a lot of fun. I highly recommend this, guys, if you just need some little game that you can just sit down and relax and just play for an hour or 20 minutes or even 3 or 4 hours if you want to. This is a great game to tick that box. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, leave us a comment in the comment section below, tell your friends, subscribe, send us some money, send us, send us your firstborn child, but that would actually add to my stress levels. Thank you so much for watching, please join me again for another one. Until then, take care, goodbye for now.